Hey, just gonna get it started one time. All my brothers, all my sisters, all my kings and queens. It's your boy Mduduzi coming back to you out another video. I was greeting one of the neighbor's kids, if you feel me. Anyways, today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, the 22nd of January 2026, baby. The time is currently, just hit 6 o'clock. My watch is saying 6:05, so it must mean it just hit 6 o'clock. Yeah, and as y'all can see by the topic, let the pain of truth build you up. Yeah, so let me talk about this. How I came about this topic is I got a mighty revelation today. And one thing I've always understood about truth is that you have to let it build you up, right? Because it's either you fold or you rebuild. We simple as that, you feel me? Greeting one of the brothers, the complex. So what do I mean? I had bought yesterday, right? Underwear and a pair of socks from Polo, right? White and dark blue. So I had kept the slip as long as with other slips. So fast forward to today, I come home early. I end up taking a walk. I have the slips in my pocket because I wanted to read them, right? Greeting the neighbor. So yeah, I had the slip in my pocket along with all the other slips. So I'm checking out the slip now. So it says it's owned by LA Retail, or basically the business is LA Retail Pty Ltd. So I Google LA Retail, you know what I'm saying? Only to find that it's a company that just got taken over by forgive me, Ralph Lauren Corporation, or yeah, Ralph Lauren Corporation, back in November 2025 over some legal battles after legal disputes. Bear with me, right? So then it further goes on to explain that LA Retail, or Polo, was started by this other white gentleman and a couple of his associates. I think there was 5 of them in the picture, white guys, in South Africa. They started making golf shirts, right? And what had happened is they trademarked the horse. This, I'm even wearing polo, if you mean, but the sign, they trademarked it, right? And with Ralph Lauren, even though he was bigger, he wasn't able to win and, what can I say, basically put them out of business because the laws at the time favored local trademark over internationals, right? So it's like they continued using the same logo as him, which I don't know how it came about, but yeah, they continued using the same logo as him. And it was a battle throughout the years, you know what I'm saying? But Ralph Lauren finally won, and now he just took over the polo here in South Africa. But yeah, I say all that to say, if you know me, you know I'm a big polo guy. I mean, right now I've got 5 pair of socks, underwear I've got 3, right? Even with the socks I've had more, but I ended up throwing them away because they got worn out, especially with my underwear. A lot of them, developed holes. So it's something that I had to rebuy, right? But yeah, currently 5 pairs of socks, like 3 pairs of underwear, pants. I have 5 pairs, 5 pairs of pants. T-shirts, I was counting just before I made this video. I think I have about 6 t-shirts. I mean, I have 3 belts. What else? Yeah, 3 caps by Polo. So I really went all in on Polo, and to find out that it ain't the real thing, you feel me? Major L. But then again, I'm not so mad, right? Because I've always understood, right? Well, let me not say always, but I remember back when there was the Balenciaga drama, and Balenciaga was under fire over a certain advert. I didn't even dig deep, right? I didn't want to know. But it just made sense to me that if you were a Balenciaga lover, you want to be someone who has to switch to another brand. And for me, I've always had that thought in mind that, okay, yes, I'm investing in Polo clothing, but I know that if they do go through a scandal for whatever reason, I'm gonna have to make the choice of standing by them regardless, or selling my clothes and switching to another brand. So I always knew that even though I'm here, I'm not really here. And I get this truth, which it hurt. I won't even lie to you. Like the thousands I've spent. I'm not mad at it, right? And why I'm not mad, and hence the topic of this video, is because just yesterday, I was watching an interview. Alex Hormozi and Tony Robbins, right? Check it out. And basically, Tony Robbins was telling a story of his 3 associates. Just to kind of give you a quick run through of the story. It was 3 of them. They were in their early 30s. He was like 32. So there was 3 of them, all billionaires, right? Or he said the 2 were billionaires. I think maybe they were all billionaires. I'm not sure. But all of them extremely wealthy, really young. And what ended up happening is Tony Robbins, they all came together to form a partnership in order to secure a certain deal. You know what I'm saying? So Tony Robbins, ended up going to the people who are, obviously gonna give them the deal, who were facilitating the whole thing. And basically he just told them the truth, basically. And he told them the disadvantages they have, the advantages. And what ended up happening is, because those people were sharks, they ended up drafting the contract in such a way as to really get over on them, right? So he was saying, when he had found out, there was 3 different reactions. One of the guys, he was extremely mad, like, I'm gonna kill them, you know what I'm saying, like, over the top. Tony Robbins was just like mad that they betrayed him. And then this other guy, he was calm about it, you feel me? And basically the focus was on the calm guy, and this guy was calm. So Tony Robbins like, aren't you mad? He's like, yeah, I'm irritated. He's like, irritated? What do you mean? Doesn't it get you boiling? Then he proceeded to say another word. I think he was like, it does get to me a bit. And then the guy at the time, right, this third guy who was more peaceful, he had went through a situation where they had taken his money, the IRS, right? So for about 5 years, they had taken his money. They had messed with him because he was extremely wealthy. Might have been due to jealousy or whatever. But yeah, so it's like, that situation, didn't it make you pissed? He's like, yeah, it made me a little bit peeved, So he was like, Tony Robbins is like, he's always been an observer of behavior. So he's like, you know what? Now that I think about it, you're not someone that really gets mad. He's like, yeah, nah, like, I don't get mad. You feel me? I hardly get mad. And he's like, what do you believe about getting angry? Right? Angry is the word. And that guy said, I believe that if you get angry, the other person wins. So he tries to avoid getting angry. And I say all that to say it was a major lesson, right? Because I've also seen that I'm not an angry person. I can be, but I've been blessed and I've always known that I can control how I respond, right? And this is hence why I made this video. The truth at times will break you down. The truth will hurt, right? You know what I'm saying? And as for me, it's like, here I am with all this polo. Right now, I've got polo jeans on, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all will see the polo socks. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not the real deal. And funny enough, you know, I never really liked the real Ralph Lauren polo. You know, I went to the website and the designs were a bit, I won't say odd, but they were just, there's a full range, right? Like, since he's such a big brand, he does so many designs. And for me, it didn't really connect. You know, I didn't really connect with the brand, but you know what I'm saying? I still invested into this polo only to find out that it's not really the real polo. But then, you know, my reaction is like, even though the reality is here in South Africa, maybe probably no one knows, you know what I'm saying? Because people are not dialed in like that. So no one really knows. Everyone will still assume that, oh, you're wearing polo, you know, the same logo. Truthfully speaking, I bought all this polo not because I loved polo, what it stood for, because I never really did research on the brand. It was strictly because of there's an echelon in these clothing brands, and because of where polo is in the hierarchy. That's why I bought it, right? I never did it really because I love the brand, what they stood for. I did it because it holds this certain standard in our society, and I want to be known that I am at this standard, right? Brand association. So I was real with myself. I was like, even though it's not the real polo, now that I'm finding it out, I have to be real with myself. And this is why I really wanted all this polo. It wasn't because I love the brand. And for me, knowing the truth, right? And I'll speak on a variety. I'll try off topics because this is off the top. I've always, not always, but recently, I keep saying always, I've allowed truth to build me up, even though it hurts, right? And I think you can really make two decisions. It's like you can accept that this is the truth, this is the standard, do I rise to it? Or you can choose to complain, or 1, 2, and 3, and complain that you'll never measure up, the truth is too hurtful. So yeah, it's like, you know, after finding out this truth, even though I'm not regretful, and I also see it as, if I wasn't aware of this truth, right, I would have really gone all in polo. You know, I didn't talk about the shoes I have. I have about 5 pairs, if I'm not wrong, right? 4 pairs, 4 pairs of. So it's like, you know, all this money spent, but I know what I did it for, right? And the reality is, I have to allow it to build me up, No matter how hurtful it is, no matter how misled I was, let it build you up. Let truth build you up, right? And it's the only way to go about things because, as MT says, ukalaksizi my dog. Eh. So yeah, it's like, I even though I know the truth, I know that I'll still have the same level of respect from society, right? That the brand commands. But yeah, as for me, there's a rap I have. First I wore guest, then I started wearing polo. I still love polo, but I'm rocking Fabiani. Now it's the Gucci Louis and the origami. You know what I'm saying? It's like making that rap. I've always knew that I'm gonna get to a point where I'm rocking Louis. You know what I'm saying? Dolce and Gabbana. It's just I understand brand association. I don't really, I don't think it's really a love for the brands, because I understand that this world is it's really shallow, right? And I also won't lie to myself. A part of me wants these things even though they are worldly and I am a believer. So yeah, it's like, okay, now that I've accepted the truth, now it's only, okay, investing into a different brand. I think I'm gonna go more towards Nike. Obviously, since they're bringing the proper polo this side, I might as well carry on, just start buying the proper thing. I was recently at Faro, right? And they had polo shirts from overseas. And I checked them out, the labels and everything. And the proper shirts. It's just, for me, it was like like I don't really need it right now. But yeah, like now it's probably best to start investing into the proper polo. If I really want to rock polo, right? But yeah, let the truth build you up, man. Today I had sent this girl a DM, right? So she has a private profile, but her profile picture, she looked nice, right? It's only her face, she looked nice. I sent her a DM on some, she looked older, right? On some, I'm just leaving, we don't know each other, but I'm just leaving this here. That if you ever feel spontaneous enough to try having a Ben 10, I'm here, you know what I'm saying? And for me, a harmless message, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, my intentions were known, but it wasn't like I was trying to sleep with her or. But yeah, she responded today. So I sent it on Monday night. She responded today, Thursday, right? At 9. On some, don't you ever say such things. You can be really offended, or this was highly offensive. I don't know if this is your vibe, but something. If only I edited my videos, I'd put it on screen, right? Then she carried on to say, grow up, get an education. You're still too young to be talking all this basically, you feel me? And for me, I looked at the message and I feel like a lot of it was, I don't understand the message. And why I say that is she blocked me right after, right? So I couldn't even respond. But firstly, I remember I had sent a message then. I had statuses up on Monday. So I saw that she viewed my status and she didn't reply, which I'm not mad about. That's majority of women, like, or depending on your value, they'll just choose not to reply, right? If they don't see you in that regard that, okay, this guy is worthy to date me, or I'm feeling him. So I'm not scared of being ghosted. I know it comes with the game. So I saw that she didn't reply. So for her to reply now on Thursday, such an angry response, for her to block me, like, it just made no sense to me. It's like maybe she was going through a bad day, or maybe it boiled inside of her that I don't know, maybe she thought I was talking about sex because of the thing she was saying on some. It's highly offensive. I don't know, like it just didn't hit me. And even though like it was meant to hurt me in a sense, it's like I feel like I've gotten way past that you're not gonna hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shoot my shot regardless. Yes, maybe we can question my shots that it wasn't so pure. But then like I shot it, I meant what I said, and I'm gonna have to face the consequences. That's how I live, right? So the reality is I know the truth now. I know how she felt, and I just have to let the truth build me up that she doesn't want me. At the end of the day, she doesn't want me. Like, no matter if she said F you or, you know what I'm saying, which she didn't, but even if she said F you, whatever, she doesn't want me. And it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you have to let the truth build you up. It's like, for me, there was also another girl who, on Hinge, on Hinge, what ended up happening is we matched, and on her profile, I've already told the story, but she mentioned that she likes sleep dates. So I went straight to texting, like, what the hell is a sleep date? And she's like, why don't you greet? Don't you have manners? Didn't your parents teach you manners? Oh, you're so rude. Start again. Start proper this time. I was just like, you're on some BS, you know? Ain't never gonna happen, you feel me? And I found her again, but I was just like, I'm never gonna apologize. F that, you know what I'm saying? She's trying to. And even with this recent girl, right? I feel like it's rage bait, which I don't blame her. Maybe that's how she felt. But it's like, I just have to let the truth build me up. It's like, just yesterday, right? Before I hit the gym yesterday. Before I hit the gym, I went obviously by Polo. I spent this money on underwear and socks. And you know, looking at the amount of money I had left, the amount of money in my savings, I was like, you know, I really need more money. Like, it, I am so low. Like, it's like I need to put in that work, guys. I'm not having it like that. You know, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. So I'll never lack. But like, my financial situation is not where it needs to be, right? And for me, I use that as fuel in the gym to be like, you have to go harder. There's no other way about it. It's like I can complain that, oh, you know, like most people do, my job isn't paying enough. I didn't go to school. And I'm someone who dropped out, and I don't regret it, right? But like, oh, dropped out. Why did I drop out? Oh, the economy. But like, for me, I'm a self-accountability guy, right? So as Andrew Tate says, I believe in brutal self-accountability. And in believing that, the only thing is to do this is all on you. Let the truth build you up, and not, you know what I'm saying, with all the hurt, use it to build yourself up. And yeah, you know what I'm saying, continue living life. Another thing for me is like my dating life is not where I want it to be. Yes, I'm currently speaking to this girl. All things are good. I'll put it like that. But like, it's not where I want it to be. Like, no offense, but like, I want way more options, way more beautiful girls I can choose from. I want to choose from a variety of women, not just to be like, one girl liked me and I settled for her, which is not the case, right? There'll always be a girl who likes me, I believe. But yes, like I have to put in that work, whether it's, you know, I feel like looks wise, maybe I'm building my body, you know, more money. I feel like my haircut right now, it's, you know, obviously it can get crispier, but like I'm pretty good. Maybe my skin can get clearer, but there's more work to do. I won't sit here and cry on some, oh, these girls are picky, these girls are not replying. I'm just simply not as valuable to them as I think I am, right? And that requires that work. So, yeah, it's like with me, guys, one thing I've learned, I have a list of hate where this really helps me in the gym. I think of all the times, my father did me wrong, my mother, and all the other situations I have on there that I won't mention. And yeah, I let it fuel me that you weren't good enough. That's why they did that to you, which is true, right? So that's what I mean by let the truth build you up. It's like, other than that, you're going to be stuck in this depression where you feel like the whole world is against you, and maybe the devil might be applying that pressure. It doesn't matter. You have to let that hurt build you. I wrote a list basically of like who I don't want to be my villain, right? As Cry calls it. So basically the person you're running from. And it's like, yeah, I'm running from, I'm saying almost being 30 and living at home. I'm running from bad breath, from being without. It's not a girlfriend that I really want. I've stated it clear or I've thought about it, and it's really availability of sexual access if I want it, right? It's like, I know that I'm not supposed to sleep around, but I want to know that if I talk to this girl and she's a 10, she's definitely folding, right? I can sleep with her. I want that for myself, right? So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of things I'm running from. The list goes on. But yeah, it's like all that hurt that comes with truth, whether they cheated on you, that's one of the most common truths. Whether you get a reality check that, I'm just not good enough. I've spoken about this. Like, you have to accept being not good enough. One of the truths, yeah, this one was crazy though. Like, I feel like it was crazy, but obviously, truth is most times out of your hands, right? So with this chain I had gotten, this chain, right? If I can zoom in, this was my dad's chain. I won't say how much he spent, but he spent quite a lot. This is what my mom says. My mom gave it to me because my dad passed on, you feel what I'm saying? So I was at the mall and I thought to myself, I don't really want to sell the chain or ever want to sell it, but I was like, why not just assess it, right? So I went to this jewelry place where they sell or they buy gold, you know what I'm saying? They sell gold as well. And yeah, I found this girl. She looks a bit foreign, you feel me, around my age. I'm 26. But yeah, it was a year ago. I think this was last year. So, but yeah, around my age, anyways. Yeah, so I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the value on this, obviously. Then she, does the process with that whole scratching, pouring. I don't know what they pour. But yeah, she looked up. She's like, it's not real. She gave me this like look of shame. Even I wasn't really ashamed, right? Because it wasn't like I went out, but like the way she presented to me, I felt like I should be ashamed. I took the chain back. I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And even now, I still rock the chain, right? Because it's my dad's, even though it's fake, it's not real, right? But like, yeah, that was a reality check for me, because before I had gotten the chain checked out, I always felt a lot of anxiety wearing the chain, because even if it's as expensive as my mom claims it to be, right? I always felt that like I should be careful, because they're looking at the chain, one wrong move. And even now that's the case, right? Like, even though they don't know it's fake, they'll still take it as it's real, right? So they'll treat it as he's wearing real gold. And obviously, God forbid, but like, if they ever, run up on me, you know what I'm saying? God forbid. But yeah, it's like, I always had this anxiety that I couldn't even take a walk in the street like I used to do when I was younger. Because now I've got gold. Now things are different, you know what I'm saying? Like, the more valuable things I have now, the more risk. So, like, I couldn't even, just walk out in public. It didn't feel comfortable, right? So, I allowed that hurt, I allowed that truth to build me up, right? And I was like, okay, it's not real, accept it. Don't be lying to people, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to admit that it's fake. I won't even lie. Because people put this kind of pressure on you. But I also get it, like, with the way I dress now, it's like I look extra rich. But yeah, it took, it was a lot of hurt, but I allowed it to build me up. I continued, and I'm like, okay, now I understand. Now I have to grind for the real thing. What even brought more hurt, brothers? You see this chain I have here? This one is also not real, right? It's stainless steel. I chain like this, right? Gold. It was going for 60K. So if this chain was really real, it was probably gonna be going for like $250,000. You know what I'm saying? So I was just looking. I remember after finding out the price, I was like 60,000. I was like, oh, when am I ever gonna get there? And I don't want even such a small chain. I want a chunky one like this. I want to go full on Nipsey Hussle. So it's probably gonna be like, all my chains are gonna be like, worth millions now. It has to be, right? Since that's the value of gold. But yeah, like, that truth really broke me down, that dudes, you have such a long way to go. And not only that, it's 60,000. Firstly, you have to set up your house. Your house has to be in order. You have to have the car, the crib, the essentials, right? If you're doing it smart, before you buy a 60,000 rand, or even more, right? Because I want more. Before I get maybe chains to the amount of 1 or 2 or 3 million. So it's such a long journey, right? Which I'm eventually gonna get there. But like, I say all that to say, use truth, use the hurt, right? Whether it be a girl not liking you. One of the things that hurt me, it was unexpected, but I came out a lift. I was at the mall. I came out the lift, and this white lady was walking towards me. So I thought she was coming in my direction. I tried to hold the lift for her. She just gave me this disgusting look, walked right past. I was like, it is what it is. It's like I've learned to accept things for what they are. But yeah, use truth to build you up. Take it all in. Like, whether they cheat on you, whether they don't like you like that, whether you're failing in life, whether you've got certain addictions, whether, your girl's talking to you crazy, your living situation is crap, you know what I'm saying? Whether you can see that, also I think maybe that can get to you is you're a believer, but you meet another believer who's just on such a level where you're like, oh, I really have to pull up my socks. I have to step up my game, you know what I'm saying? Or where you look at your career that you have such a long way to go. Use that hurt. Let it build you up, you know what I'm saying? And prosper, like, have the right mindset for all of this. It's like, there's only two ways I see it. It's either you fold, it's either it's like they say, it's like, you walk in the Louis store, you see a jacket worth 100,000. It's either you walk out there, right, not having the 100,000 on some, Louis is tripping, 100,000, like, such a waste of money. Or you tell yourself that, you know what, I'm going to put myself in a position that I can be able to afford. And few years later, or not even if it's month or a couple days later, or even the same day, you know what I'm saying, whether how you do it, or, you know what I'm saying, regarding how you do it, you walk back in the Louis store and you've got that 100,000 for the jacket, because that's the actual price and it's not changing. Yeah, just allow the truth to build you up and not bring you down. It's like, And this is, for me, this is like, I feel like where most of my progress has come from. Me understanding that, okay, I feel like, honestly, right now, I don't speak as fluent as I'd like. You know what that means, Mtutuzi. You have to get on your game, have to speak more, be more articulate. Or the girls are not treating you as you'd like. Step up your game. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you don't have enough money for this. Make a plan to get money. Or your relationship with God is failing. You know what I'm saying? Focus more on the Lord. Or your relationships here are failing. Spend more time, be on the search. It's like, it's just as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you don't have a car, a house of your own. It grind to get it. You know what I'm saying? It's time, lock in. And I just want to end, right, the video as I famously say, but I really want to take it to Casper Nyovest, right? Shout out, you know what I'm saying, Nyovest, Mufasa himself, you feel me? And I feel like what really has allowed me to like Casper beyond a musical perspective, right? Like, yes, I love the music. Even though, you know what I'm saying, I am an artist, there are certain things I can critique. It's like, for me, I remember there was a time he was on some, you know what I'm saying, he even rapped about not wanting to bring friends home to the crib because he's embarrassed, there's not enough space. Then I saw an Instagram post. He was on some, I just bought my mom a house. For me, what I saw and related with Casper, he was a guy on some, okay, for example, I'm not having sex, right? I want to have sex. How do I end up having sex? And once he's having sex and he's having, you know what I'm saying, he's in that position, even though sex is a bad example, once you see the journey that, okay, this guy wasn't good with girls, now he's finally, you know what I'm saying, he's got a roster, you know what I'm saying, he deals with the most beautiful women. It gives you inspiration. And the same thing with me. It's like seeing how he went from, I don't have this, I want this, to reaching such a level. For me, it only makes sense. It's like all the things I'm lacking, take note and improve yourself. And, now that I've been in that position, especially like with the clothes, right? It's like, I'm a dripper. I study swagonomics. I study that swagonometry, you feel me? And people, one of the things is, because I always change outfits, I take pride in it. People always do acknowledge that, okay, this guy has lots of clothes. This guy, he's always dressing. I'm always, I keep a standard, right? The haircut is always on point. I'm saying the jewelry, the clothes are busting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and it's like when people do ask about it, I always have that story of I went from not having, right, especially with the clothes, like I really, like, I didn't document the journey, but I really went from not having to eventually having so much, just through, you know what I'm saying, seeking and finding. As the Bible says in Matthew 7 verse 7, seek, you shall find, ask, it shall be given to you, knock, the door shall be opened. Right? I'm paraphrasing the verse, but like, it's just as simple as that, guys. The more truth you get, right, and truth will be revealed to us. One of the truths, randomly speaking, is for some reason I felt, right, for some time that I was adopted. And it really went into this whole thing, it might be real type of thing, right? And even now there's a possibility, I'm not too sure. But if I ever find out that, because my mom is the only surviving parent, whether I find out from her or someone else and the truth is revealed that, okay, you know what, I'm adopted, of course I'm going to be mad, right? just for not telling me. But like at the end of the day, I'm just gonna have to take in that truth that, and I know it'll always be a thing of, look at the bright side. They adopted you. If, you know what I'm saying, they adopted you, you know what I'm saying, you live this good life because of them. I'm just gonna have to accept the truth as it is. Okay, they lied to me, they adopted me. Also at the same time, it's like, what do you do with it now? Do I build myself up with the truth that, okay, maybe my real parents didn't want me, and these are where my thoughts go, right? Maybe my real parents didn't want me. Do I let that get me into this hole where I'm backsliding now? I'm drinking, I'm smoking, I'm in this depression that, I'm adopted. Or do I see things for how it is? Okay, I'm adopted. You know what? It is what it is. Going forward, I don't feel like I'll adopt. You never know though. But like, if I ever do adopt, tell the truth and go look for my real parents, find out the truth, and just allow it to build me up on some, okay, this is who I am. This is what happened to me. But I'm progressing. I'm going to make it to the millions. I saw a tweet recently on some, all roads lead to the prime, what is it? All roads lead to me being in the prime of my life, something like that. But yeah, as I said, I'm gonna wrap it up with the Noves situation. But like, yeah, allow all this hurt, guys. Whatever it comes from, you not having enough, someone looking down upon you. Today, quickly add this. I had seen two church ladies right there in my church at the shop, and they had asked me why I'm not going to prayer. And the real reason is because I don't have a car. I'm not willing to make that sacrifice of spending my own money on Uber. You know what I'm saying? Or even just negotiating with my mom because it's her car to keep going to church. Now it's gonna be, like, it's a power thing for me. So it's like, the more now I rely on my mom to use the car, the more she can wield her power against me. And I'm trying to be independent as much as possible, right? It's the only way to go, the only way, how I see it. But I kept to them, and they could tell I was capping. I said something about waking up early, but I was like, I walked away like, Lord, I told another lie, but like, okay, I accepted. I told that lie. Do better going forward, right? You just have to accept the truth and let it build you up. This certain girl doesn't like you. She doesn't like you. This is the reality is that you will get a girl if you're a brother, or as a woman, you will get a guy that is giving you attention that, I was even thinking to myself, my body even just doesn't want to be with her, right? Even though she's making herself available. Like, it's like, here my mind understands that, like, who likes you, but my body is even rebelling. Like, I'm feeling like, nah, I can do better. But the reality is, her at the level she is, and when I say the level, I'm just talking plainly about looks, right? Because even though looks are not the end all be all, they matter a lot. So it's like, her level of looks is what you really can get. Yes, I believe I can get higher, right? I've had experiences, but it's like, look at the realities. Like, this certain girl is giving you, is considering you, is making time for you. Or these certain girls are over the ones you want. So yeah, let truth build you up, and you will only prosper, man. The truth shall set you free. Not set shall make you free. It's your boy. Peace.